Hello, Gabriel.
Hi, Josh. How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Fantastic.
Awesome. So today we get to talk about mentorship and microlearning. Is that what we said?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do them both.
One of the cool things, and for those of you that are watching, ASAE came to us and said, hey, we want to rethink about the way that we engage and develop our members. We've got a lot of legacy tools, and we don't think that that's the way to go forward, both from a speed to market, from a cool and modernization. And so one of the things we talked a lot about was even like the masterclass model, which is it's video, it's micro learning, it's commitments. And so I started talking to them a little bit about my philosophy on learning, and certainly in a digital world, which is you watch something, you read something, you reflect, and you act. And so it starts to create this loop of, hey, I'm watching something, I'm reading something, I'm reflecting on what I just did, and that's usually where things stop. And it's the actions that start to go forward. So we started creating this micro learning process where you could read, you could reflect, you could make commitments. And so that was the micro learning piece. And really, when we looked at a lot of the software capabilities that they had, it wasn't that they didn't have those. Where it started to fall down was a lot of the commitments and then a lot of the connecting to virtual coaching. And so that's when we started telling this bigger story of what does micro learning look like? What does mentoring look like? And then what is it when we take our members and turn them into mentors? And so we started to put this whole plan together of saying, hey, lightweight, nimble, attractive, bite-sized way is to create the future. And so that's where we begin to look at JUNO and say, hey, we can do this. We've been doing this for a long time. Let's put this whole thing together and build it out. So the thing that gets us excited when we talk to clients, now clients are saying, hey, we're seeing this Ready.me thing, and we want to engage our members in the future of engagement, not just a bunch of, all these credits and long form courses buried deep inside of our, of our ecosystem. What do we put that out there in the front? And so, man, we're just thrilled about it. This is kind of a passion project for me, because I believe that the future of engagement is not long form learning buried deep into an ecosystem. Rather, it's the front tip of the spear of an organization saying, members should be mentors, and micro learning should be the way that things are being done. And how do we put that all on a platform where we're not duct taping 6 platforms together to make that experience? So not that this is a sales pitch, but it's been an exciting thing to architect and to unveil. And so us, what we want to do is talk more about helping organizations get to that future state learning, future state value proposition that their members can provide them. Not just what value can they provide their members, but what can members provide them, which is getting into that micro learning and mentor connection. So does that make sense, kind of how we're framing that?
Totally does. And I know for me personally, whenever I do any kind of like professional development and learning, if you read something, you go to a course and you like kind of walk away, you take notes, whatever, and then you walk away like, is this gonna what if this is gonna sink in? What am I gonna put into action? Right. Yep. That's kind of the thing. And that's always, and the things for me that have been super valuable are the things where like, oh, you know what? I just went to a conference on that. And I get to talk about it and put it into practice. And I think that's that key piece. It's not a matter of just like consuming the content, taking a test, walking away with like, great, now I know that stuff. But you don't, like, you learned it, but you don't know it, right? And I think that's what's always felt so cool to me is when you learn something and then I get to use it. I get to talk to people about it. And that's when it shifts from being something that I learned into something that I know. Because now it's like
one of my math teachers said growing up, you don't really understand math just because you can do the problem. You understand math when you can teach how to solve the problem. And I thought that was it always stuck with me. Maybe it was because it was the 4th time I took pre-algebra, but it's true. It's like, and that's where in all these environments, we want to create those moments where, people are able to say, hey, like, I learned this. The other mentor begins to say, hey, tell me about what you learned. Tell me what you walked through. And that's what's cool too about, the JUNO setup is like, we've got discussion questions that mentors can talk about, mentor guides that they can know how to be a mentor. And I really do think the future of engagement is not learning in a silo, but it's learning with a strategic partner that can help you grow. And that's what honestly makes membership communities, they've got that asset that they can use. It's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. There's a way to like put it into action, give it context. You make it, like I said, make it something that's where like, oh, now I know this. I can talk about this. I'm excited about this. Starts to fit into some other pieces. You start making connections. And
Well,
suddenly
Gabe, I'll
that kind
tell
of
you,
abstract theory you read, like, is something useful.
exactly. And I'll tell you, when we were at ASAE launching ReadyMe, the number one reason people wanted to do it was that we were going to connect them with a mentor. And then quickly followed by, I want to be in a community of like-minded peers that are like investing in their future. And so the content was great and people wanted it, but it was really the architecture of mentoring connections that really bring it together. So it's exciting. We're thrilled to launch it. We're thrilled that we've architected this in our framework that's clean and simple. It's obviously accessible on the app and the website, which is so cool. And I think it's just cool. So hopefully, if you're watching this, reach out to us. We want to help you engage the future. And while this is a product update, it's also an opportunity to talk about how you can engage with Juno. So that's a win.